welcome to the Film Pulse Podcast. This is episode number 280. My name's Adam Patterson. With me today, we got Kevin Rakestraw. How are you, Kevin?
Doing pretty good.
All right, this week we'll be talking about the movie everyone else is talking about with Ryan Coogler's Black Panther, along with some of what we've been watching on the watch list, and previewing some new releases in theaters, VOD, and Blu-ray. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I think we'll just dive right in. We'll just dive right into this Black Panther business. What do you say?
Yeah, let's not pussyfoot.
We're not gonna this podcast. We're not gonna be pussyfooting around on this podcast here. Black Panther, written and directed by Ryan Coogler, has some other writing credits too, including Joe Robert Cole. I have a synopsis here. T'Challa, the king of Wakanda, rises to the throne in the isolated, technologically advanced African nation, but his claim is challenged by a vengeful outsider who was a childhood victim of T'Challa's father's mistake. This stars Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, Lupita Nyong'o, Denai Guria, Martin Freeman's in there, Daniel Kaluuya's in there, Letitia Wright's in there, Angela Bassett, Forrest Whitaker, Andy Serkis.
Just keep naming them all. Just go through the whole list real quick.
Should I go through all like the tertiary characters and the guest spots and all of that? So I don't know. Maybe that's a spoiler to talk about any guest spots. I don't know. Either way, let's get into it. Kevin, what'd you think of Black Panther?
I quite enjoyed Black Panther.
Yeah, buddy.
It was, as far as Marvel movies go, I would say probably the one that I enjoyed the most. And I think for the most part, it didn't feel as much like movies, which has always been kind of my issue with the Marvel films, is where they all seem to have this template that they go by. This one, I don't think it really utilized that too much, which I found refreshing. And it seems like, and I don't know if maybe they took care of some of this with, because where did Black Panther first show up? Was it
Civil War?
Civil War. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like maybe they handled some aspects of Black Panther in Civil War, but it didn't feel like they got trapped in the whole like origin story.
No, that's
thing.
Yeah, and that's one thing that Marvel started doing with Civil War. They brought Spider-Man into the to the Marvel Studios universe, and then they brought in Black Panther, and these are two brand new characters within this universe. And in Civil War, they didn't do the origin story. I mean, they with Black Panthers as a character, they sort of explained enough. They gave enough exposition so that we could know who he is and, you know, where he came from, and just a character introduction. But they didn't bother with any of that crazy origin stuff, and they didn't do it with Spider-Man either, thankfully, because they figured we all know that, you know, we've seen that origin story a million times over by now. But to your point about the sort of the Marvel template, I kind of disagree with you on that, in that I did sort of feel the template in this movie. It didn't bother me though. I didn't feel like, oh, here we go, here's another one just copy and pasted. But you know, this is still kind of a hero's journey type of movie, and I feel like Marvel's been sort of pulling back from that template, or at least trying to. With some of their more recent movies. I thought Doctor Strange pulled away from it a little bit, and certainly Thor Ragnarok, I thought pulled away from that. Thor Ragnarok was more akin to the Guardians of the Galaxy style, where it was more this kind of space opera than your traditional superhero movie. And I thought that Black Panther did a lot of interesting things to sort of try to circumvent the superhero cliche as well.
Which, I mean, this one also to me just seems far more complex.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly a lot of world building in this, which was really well done.
Yeah, I mean
And
the right off the bat, the two biggest pluses for me are the costuming is incredible,
oh my
and
god,
just the overall
holy shit,
production design,
yeah,
like her laboratory or whatever,
yeah,
just like everything that goes into those two aspects alone, I think make it worthwhile.
absolutely. I mean, this is like award worthy stuff here. I mean, the costumes alone are just incredible. Like, I was blown away by some of the costuming in this, and that's not even something that I usually pay mind to very much. You know, in a lot of movies, I don't really pay attention to the costuming, but in this, yeah, holy shit, incredible. And yes, the production design too is holy crap.
And there's just this. I like how they have the. I mean, the first thing that hooked me was I loved the introduction, like the little animation style, the way that they did all that, and kind of give you like a brief history, like a the explanation of the tribes and everything, and then to take the costuming into the tribes and make them distinct. Like you could just tell by looking at them that
Right.
we have these distinct tribes, that they're easily identifiable, which I thought did a lot of. I think for that for the costuming there to do a lot of that work that you don't have to spend so much to kind of clear that up, that
Yeah.
you just do it with the costume itself and kind of takes care of everything.
Right. Exactly. I loved how everything felt very. It felt very cultured in that everything, even the technology, even though this was very advanced technology, it seemed to still reflect their tradition and their culture. And I thought that that was a really cool detail that they added, like the how everything like that. I thought one of the things that was really cool was like their little like map system, how it looked like sand, how it was like
Mm-hmm.
very grainy and it almost had like a sand look to it. I'm sure that that was like vibranium granules or something that were being used, but just all these little tiny details that really added to everything about the production.
And I think another big aspect of this is you have a thoroughly interesting, captivating villain for
Right,
this.
yeah. That was definitely one of the points that I was going to touch on. I've noticed that in Marvel movies, the anytime they get a human villain or at least a human shaped villain, like for instance, Kate Blanchett in Thor Ragnarok was not, she wasn't human, but she was humanoid, you know? Like she wasn't
Yeah.
this giant CG robot or monster. And I find that those villains are way more captivating. And also, whenever you have a villain that you can understand where they're coming from, like they're not just some random psychopath. I mean, sometimes that's fun too, but I think that it's way more engaging when you have someone where you can kind of see their plight. You know, you can
Yeah.
see where they're
Well,
coming from.
and I think that's one of the big things here. When I kind of touched on earlier, saying that it's pretty complex. Is where with Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger, there were a lot of times where he's kind of going through either his plan or his feelings and what drove him to this and that, and you're just kind of, or at least I was, you know, thinking like, yeah, he makes a lot of good points.
Yeah, of course.
I, he, maybe he's the hero of this, and that's what the big juxtaposition is, how they have Black Panther, who is kind of have the Wakanda deeply rooted in their tradition, and they have to do things a certain way, and it's always been this way, and it's kind of the status quo that they're upholding. And then you have Killmonger, who is a modern thinker, and kind of, I don't want to say he's not really radical, because he has some ideas, but they kind of undercut it because he's essentially just kind of blinded by his vengeance and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of undercuts because he has some good ideas.
He has some good
It's
ideas,
just
but
he
at the
just
same
didn't.
time,
He
what
didn't
he's
really.
trying to do is,
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like he didn't really think it through. Like plots out his plan and like this is what we're gonna do, and not one of us is like, okay, that's great and all, but what are we gonna do afterwards?
yeah,
Like, there's no foresight to it. Like it's an okay idea, but you want to have this planned out because
yeah,
it's not
exactly.
gonna just work the way you want it to work.
Staying on the whole villain discussion, I thought Andy Serkis was awesome as Claw. I thought
I
that
didn't.
I thought he did a really great job.
Yeah, I didn't know that was Andy Serkis.
Really? Awesome. Well, that's good, I guess.
I looked them up afterwards because I'm like, who is that guy? And then also I'm trying to think if I've ever seen Andy Serkis just as a human person.
Oh, I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have.
Maybe it just never registers because I just think of him as this like CGI model.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the movies that he's in doing motion capture work, it pretty much looks like him, just in a different form, like be it ape or Gollum or whatever he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was great in it. Performances across the board, I thought were pretty solid. I mean,
they were fantastic. I don't think there was really a weak link anywhere, and you actually got a couple of like breakthrough performances from people that I haven't seen before, like Winston Duke as the leader of I can't remember their tribe, but they're the ones exiled to the mountains.
yeah, like the gorilla tribe.
Yeah, that guy was
I can't
great.
remember the name. But
That guy
he was
fantastic.
awesome.
And he brought some comedy to it too.
Yeah, and that was another. Yeah, that was definitely another bullet point that I wanted to talk about. I mean, Marvel movies are known for keeping it lighter than the DC movies, and they like to inject some comedy here and there. And this is definitely one of the more serious of the Marvel movies, but they certainly did bring in some levity, and I think that a lot of it worked pretty nicely.
Yeah, I thought it worked really well. None of it felt really forced.
No, it all felt very natural, and pretty much all the jokes that came about landed for me. I thought that Letitia Wright was really funny in it.
Oh yeah, she was great. She was
as the sister. Great. She was hilarious. Shuri was her character's name.
Yeah, and I think she might have been the biggest breakout.
Yeah, she was. You may remember her from this season of Black Mirror. She was in the Black Museum episode of Black Mirror.
I didn't see that one yet.
She was great in that. Well, you have that to look forward to.
Yeah, I do.
She's pretty great in it. And then of course, Denai Guria.
Oh my goodness! When she does, my favorite, probably like action piece of the whole movie is when she did her spear through the car.
Yeah, and flipped it. Oh man. I'm sure that most of you know her as Michonne on The Walking Dead, and she's amazing in that show, and she's equally as amazing in this movie. She's such a badass, which leads me to talk about the action sequences. It's not overwrought with action sequences, but when they do occur, they're awesome. That car chase towards the beginning was so awesome, and I that car chase was just on point for me.
I thoroughly enjoyed that, and again, I found that quite refreshing in that there aren't a lot of action sequences, like you said, but when it does kick into the action, it's quality stuff.
Yeah, and it's not to say that there aren't a lot of action sequences. There's just not as many as what you might expect in a superhero movie. I mean, there's like an all-out war at the end of this movie. So
yeah,
you definitely, for people looking for action, you get plenty of it, and it's really well choreographed, and it looks awesome too. Um, I want to I want to get back to the visuals for a moment because really the visuals for me were just such a strong element of this. Just the use of color, these kind of bright, vibrant like purples, and everything just popped in this movie, and it just looked so awesome. I mean, especially all the scenes that were in Wakanda, you're just like, holy shit, like this is just gorgeous.
Well, and the the first shot that got me is like when the camera's behind T'Challa and he's like going through, he's coming walking down the spaceship, and you just have the little, rectangle opening of him
Mm-hmm.
coming, and you just kind of see the water, and then when he walks out and the camera goes up and you see everyone like on the cliff and
Yeah,
the waterfalls. It's just, that was incredible.
definitely some really strong visuals in this. A lot of the Marvel movies look good, but this one I thought was really up there. I mean, I thought that Ragnarok looked really great too, but this is definitely up there on that same level. I wanted to give a shout out to the title card choices and the font choices in this movie. I know it's like a stupid thing to
Oh, you
talk
didn't like
about,
it?
but no, I did.
Oh yeah, I
I'm
love
saying
the
I want to.
font.
I'm saying I want to
Oh,
give a
font
shout
was
out to it because they were awesome.
fucking love the font.
I noticed that in the Marvel movies they started doing that more recently, where they're getting sort of more creative, more artistic with their title card choices. Like when we switch locations and they give us the location name or whatever. They started being a little more creative than that. I mean, usually with action movies, you just see like the little, they might use some sort of high tech looking font down in the like lower left corner, and they'll say like Wakanda, and then it'll
Yeah.
go away. But they started doing these like sort of full frame, like bam, like this is where you are type thing. And I thought that I like what they do with that now.
Yeah, the choice of the font here was pretty. I got pretty jazzed up the first time it showed up.
Yeah. Yep. And I think that's what like a good title card will do that for me. Like I'll get amped. Like it'll pump me up, and it's especially like a good like opening title card. I'll get really pumped up over that.
Well, especially if you have like the title cards that'll just say, you know, either day of the week or the location, and
Hmm.
it's really plain. There's a part of you that's just like, why?
Yeah,
Like, do I need to know it's Tuesday? Like, and if you're gonna
exactly.
tell me it's Tuesday, could you pick something besides like Arial Black? What the fuck?
Ariel Black. Uh, what did you think about the score?
The score is pretty great.
Yeah, I thought there were some
I
really
don't I don't
really
remember
good.
much of it.
There were a couple.
Yeah.
There were a couple tracks that I noticed that stuck out to me. Um, that sounded really nice. Some of the stuff was average. I
There
noticed
was
that.
one there was one song now that I'm kind of racking my brain. I think it was when they were coming back into the lab. There was kind of a like a drum beat type style. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, they mixed. The score was kind of an interesting mix of like African rhythms with like hip hop beats, and that was one of the things. Like normally in a lot of these movies during the action sequences, they tend to use sort of generic action sounding score, and they did a little bit of that in this, but they mixed it up and they played some more interesting musical choices. I was hoping to hear that Run the Jewels song that we heard in the trailer, but they didn't play it in the movie,
Yeah.
which was a bummer. I'd love to hear Run the Jewels on the big screen.
So, who do you think's right? Killmonger or Black Panther?
I didn't read it. I saw a headline that said something about Black Panther as Donald Trump and
Oh, geez, no.
like
I mean, there's
Killmonger is like the 99% or something.
no. I mean, there's. It is. This is what I love about the Black Panther storyline here. That with what they're doing, and I think some of it is you have Coogler in a tough place where he's making a movie for Marvel. So you're making a movie for this big corporation, right? For big audiences. So you can't really be too radical with your ideas here. You know, the studio's not going to let that happen. So, but I think and I don't know how he did it, but I watched it, where he's almost made two movies in a sense, or like two different thought, where you have Black Panther is like the kind of traditional status quo, just looking out for Wakanda, and then coming to the idea, okay, like we need to help some people out and outreach and all that stuff, and then you have Killmonger who has this just really radical ideas of like we need to rise up and overthrow everyone, and but you're able to have those two stay intact, where I don't think he necessarily comes out on either side. Coogler does, of saying like one is wrong and the other one's right. He kind of, it seems like he's backing both of them.
Yeah, I think that there's a middle ground. It's like you look at one side, like both sides are extremes, whereas Wakanda, they want to stay isolated. They don't want, even though they have all this great technology that can help further the world, it can help people in need, and it can help advance civilization as a whole. They don't want to give it out. They want to just protect their own people.
But it is kind of odd because they do point out that they sent out all these spies all over the world. There's spies everywhere. Yeah. And they interfere here and there where they see fit to try and, make some small changes without bringing attention to Wakanda as a nation. But you do wonder, like, what did you guys really do?
Not much.
If the world's still in such a bad place, like what? And it's interesting too that with Lupita Nyong'o's character, where she's essentially Killmonger, just smarter, and she's been doing it for years, where she's kind of on her own, trying to make change, and then like they won't listen to her, and then of course Killmonger comes in for like 2 days, and then like, oh shit, yeah, we have to. This is a great idea. This is something we need to do. And you think, like, Lupita Nyong'o's character has to be thinking, like, I've been fucking saying this for years.
Yeah, but she was doing it in the shadows, though. Like, she wasn't getting on her soapbox in front of everyone and saying this is... Plus, he took the throne by force. That might be a spoiler.
I don't think... He didn't take it by force.
Well...
He had legit...
Yeah, but he sort of did. I mean, like...
No, you just kicked the shit out of him and won.
Right.
But that's how you get the throne.
I know.
That's their tradition, man. They made up the rules.
I know.
Black Panther lost. He got the shit kicked out of him.
Anyway, you have that extreme, and then you have the other extreme, which is, Killmonger's agenda, where he wants to arm the people, and he wants to cause uprisings, and he wants to overthrow governments and most certainly cause more death and destruction.
Yeah.
And I think that, that you're looking for a middle ground in between that. You're looking for somewhere in the middle of that.
And then the other wrinkle to it that makes it even a little more complicated, which I appreciated, is that Killmonger himself is like, not only, wow, that's kind of a spoiler. I don't know if I want to get into that. But there's one thing that's a spoiler, and then the other thing that's not, is where he is, being American and, what was he, like a special ops type deal?
Yeah.
Where he served in Iraq and Afghanistan. He essentially comes in like the U.S. and is colonizer
Yeah.
and does everything that has been in the playbook for years.
Yeah, and that's what they said. That's his specialty, right? His what he does for a living is infiltrates and overthrows these governments. Like he knows the playbook. He knows how to do it because he did it for us.
Yeah, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
And which really sets up, which is another thing that I really appreciate with Black Panther is the way that it ends, and with all that being in the mix, is I'm really looking forward to see what Black Panther 2 does, to see
Yeah.
where they go from this.
Yeah. I'm sure that they'll further the story more in the new Avengers movie, the Infinity War. I'm sure that they're going to be involved
Yeah.
with that. And if you in Civil War, if you, I know Kevin, you didn't see Civil War, but what happens in that, the thing that sort of sparks it, is there's an event that takes place, and Wakanda is involved, and that's sort of what brings Wakanda into the limelight, so to speak, where
Yeah.
they're the ones that are calling for these regulations that are going to be enacted on the superheroes, and they're the ones that sort of spark this bill that causes the civil war between the heroes. So they did get involved in that, and then you saw scenes from Civil War towards the beginning of Black Panther 2 to sort of catch you up if you didn't see it. So it's not like you miss a whole lot if you didn't see Civil War.
Okay. Yeah, it seemed like they did a good enough job that they lost.
Right, yeah. They caught you
seeing
up
this
on it.
without spending too much time on it, which was nice.
Right, it didn't feel like it was this kind of lame flashback thing either. Like I thought
Spider-Man
I thought that they did it pretty well.
catching it all on his phone, making his little movies.
I thought that was fine. I actually rewatched that last night, and I still really enjoy that movie.
I enjoy it too. I just cut Iron Man out of all of it.
That's right.
I hope that's what Infinity War is Killmonger, just Avengers, and then we just have Black Panther movies from here on out.
I don't.
That'd be nice.
I don't see that happening.
I mean, retire Iron Man and Hulk and all them guys. Like they're done. Let's move forward.
Certainly, Iron Man will be retired soon. Like,
God, I hope so.
He's definitely going to be retired soon. There's just no way.
Can you imagine if they just keep going with Iron Man? Robert Downey Jr., 82 years old. Man, they just do it all CG. You know what I mean? They can just make him look young again.
Yeah, they can.
Get someone to like motion capture him.
Yeah, they did it in Civil War. There's a scene where they made him. It was like this holographic thing or whatever, but they made him look. They made young Robert Downey Jr. in it.
That's what they're gonna do.
And they did it with Kurt Russell in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 as well.
See, they're testing it out.
I'll tell you, in Guardians of the Galaxy, it looked really good. Like it looks so much like young Kurt Russell.
They're testing the waters. They want to see how people are reacting to it, and if people aren't like, "Oh my god, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life," they're going to start implementing it more.
It's like that. What was that movie that came out a few years ago? That was it was animated, and it was starring Robin Wright as herself. And the whole movie was about how, like, in the future, movie stars like sign away their likenesses, and then the movies that they're in just use CG versions of them.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of that movie.
Called. I know exactly what you're talking about, though. Which is that is going to happen.
Yeah, I think that'll definitely happen.
It's ridiculous. I just want to say one thing. There's something that Killmonger says like towards the end of the film, which, holy shit. Like that was impactful.
What did
Like
they?
I wasn't his kind of talking about jumping in the water,
Yeah.
not being held in bondage. I was not expecting that from a Marvel movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this was a long time coming, right? I mean, there's a reason that this is doing so well at the box office. These superhero movies are universally liked. Like, there's fans of all walks of life that enjoy these movies, and yet it's very clear that black audiences have been underrepresented in these movies for far too long. And I think that now is just such a perfect time to come out with a movie like this, that it's not for black audiences. It's for everyone, but I think that a lot of black audiences can appreciate it just so much more.
It's just a simple matter of representation.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
like
you know
now
what I mean?
they're finally represented in these movies. And it's not to say that there haven't been great black actors involved in these movies. You know, you have your War Machines and your Falcons and all of these other great characters, but those have all been kind of tertiary characters and sort of the side characters. And to have a Marvel movie that is predominantly using black actors with a black director, I think it's a great thing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it helps that the movie was awesome. Like it was helpful that the movie was actually really, really well done and entertaining and fun, and had a good message to it as well. So I did see that there were some some racists were trying to sort of disseminate false information about like white people being attacked at screenings of this. I don't know if you saw any of that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's such bullshit. I hope no one actually fell for that.
Oh, I'm sure some people did. Same people that watch Fox News and fall for that shit.
Well,
fuck that. What they had before it even came out, there was like a campaign of, I don't know, where they like hitting up IMDb, or was it Rotten? I can't remember which one, but just just a deluge of bad reviews to kind of like, I guess, tank its score or what, I don't know.
Yeah, tank the user score.
It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's slightly ridiculous, but you know what? Looking at the box office numbers, it doesn't look like it mattered because this crushed it. So over the weekend, it made $235 million.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Number one movie of 2018 by a large margin. Just for comparison, the number two movie so far in 2018 is 50 Shades Freed, and that only has 78.6 million. So, I mean, and 50 Shades Freed has been open for several weeks now. So, yeah, this movie absolutely crushed it. So,
yeah. I mean, that's just one weekend too.
Still
time because
yeah, people are going to see this multiple times, no doubt about it.
Plus, is anything coming out next week or the week after?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. If you didn't get a chance to see Black Panther this weekend, and you're going to the movies next weekend, Black Panther's probably going to be your choice.
Yeah, I mean, I know that when I was looking for tickets for it, man, it was like every time slot, every showtime was booked, like almost full theaters every time.
Small place in my town, which we usually go to the first showing on a weekend, so with the early bird. And usually any film that we go to, there's maybe 1-2 other people in there. But this time for Black Panther, this shit was full.
Yeah.
Which this small town, I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, it's great though. It's great. It's great to hear that though. I want to just talking about like theaters and stuff. And I know that any of our listeners I'm sure this does not apply to. But if you go see a movie in a theater that has reserved seating, just sit in your seat. Just sit in the seat that has been assigned to you, or the seat that you picked when you ordered your tickets. Because what a nightmare this was. Like, we get to the theater, we sit down in our seats, everything's fine, we're waiting. But then there's like, for like 25, 30 minutes, people are sitting in the wrong seats, and then those people come in and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, you're in my seat. Then they have to get up and go through the whole row and then go sit in their seats. And then like this group of maybe, I don't know, maybe early 20s something dudes came in, and they sat wherever. Like, it was very clear that they just sat wherever. And then the people came in and made them move. And then rather than like sitting in their own assigned seats, they sat on the floor. There's like the theater sort of split into two halves. There's like the upper half and the lower half, and then there's that sort of walkway in between. They sat on the floor, like in that walkway. And it's like,
they did. Of course they did.
Just sit in your assigned seat. Like, if you're not happy with it, then pick a different seat. Like, go to the manager and see if you can get a seat change. But why would you pick that seat to begin with? Like, yeah, it's so infuriating to me. Like, because I mean, this is like, we're like deep into the trailers at this point, and this is still happening. Like, they're shuffling around, people are arguing. People, and like these people, they'll sit in the wrong seat, and then when the person comes and makes them move, they like throw a fit. They like huff and puff about it. Like, all right, let me just pick up my popcorn and my drink here and get my coat. And it's like, dude, you're sitting in the wrong seat anyway. Just get the fuck up. What the fuck? It's insane. Like, they don't know. Like, they think that the seat assignments are a suggestion, and they're just like, yeah, fuck it. I'm just going to sit wherever I want. I mean, especially, it'd be one thing if it was a small movie that very clearly wasn't going to have a lot of people in it, if it had like 6 people in the theater or something. But this is a big movie, and it's very clear that this is a full theater. Anyway, that's my seating rant for the week. I'm sure I'll bitch about it again in the future. Let's go ahead and give Black Panther a score. What are you gonna give it out of 10, Kevin?
I'm thinking an 8.
I'm gonna go with, I think I'm gonna go with an 8 on this one as well. We have a review for this up on the site. Blake reviewed it for us. He gave it an 8.5. So if you want to read a good review, check that out. Let's move on. Talk about something we're watching on the watch list. Kevin, I think you're up this week.
All right. I watched Robert Altman's The Long Goodbye from 1973.
Yeah, a little Altman action.
Yeah. Elliot Gould playing Detective Philip Marlowe. This is a slow mover. Takes its good old time. Just
it sounds pretty typical Altman, but
yeah. I mean, thankfully, Elliot Gould is awesome in his role as Philip Marlowe. So, and much of it is just kind of like him. Like, the first 15 minutes is just like him in his apartment with his cat, like trying to get the cat food. And in the process, it's 15 minutes of him trying to get the cat food. And within that, he smokes like 8 cigarettes. It's ridiculous. Like, if you're a smoker like me, this movie is difficult because he literally smokes a cigarette constantly, just the entire time. He smokes literally like packs throughout the course of the movie. And I just wanted to smoke so much. I just kept wanting to hit pause and smoke a cigarette. And it's awesome because he has, it was the old strike anywhere matches.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy's striking off of everything. He walks into the grocery store, just off the wall, just anywhere. It was kind of badass. Bit of a slow mover, like I said. It looks great though. There's There's some great cinematography in it. There's a sequence in particular where the guy that, or the woman that he's working for, he's a private eye that he's working for, her and her husband are kind of having this argument in their house, and they live on the water in Malibu, and he was asked to leave, so he's just kind of hanging out by the ocean, just kind of hanging out until they're done, and they keep shooting, the married couple having their argument, and like he's reflected in their windows of just like hanging out, and they do that. He does that for like 5-10 minutes, and it's incredible.
Hmm.
So it's definitely worth a look. It like the actual at the center of this, I thought was very bizarre because it never felt like it was a mystery or it was really of importance, but apparently it was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of know right off the bat that you kind of have an idea of what's going on, and then it just takes forever to get there.
Hmm.
But again, luckily, Elliot Gould he makes it worthwhile. It's a bit of a slog, but you got him and you got the cinematography, so it works out pretty well.
Nice. Yeah, I've always wanted to see this one. I just never got around to it. That's The Long Goodbye from 1973. I saw Mohawk. This is directed by Ted Giogan. This one's under embargo, so I'm not really able to talk about it just yet. So I can't really say my thoughts on it, although it's this sort of revenge story about this young Mohawk woman who is going up against a squad of American soldiers. And it's pretty interesting, but I'll talk more about it after the embargo lifts. But keep an eye out for it. It's called Mohawk, and it opens March 2nd, and it'll be in select theaters and VOD as well. Maybe we can review it on the site, I don't know, on the show.
All right.
Because I don't think anything else comes out that weekend.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. I saw Phantom Thread.
Oh,
P.T. Anderson.
yeah.
You see that shit?
No, I
You see
didn't.
this shit?
I missed
This
it.
Phantom Thread shit?
Oh, I missed it.
This is a great example of a movie, right? That every aspect of it is just phenomenal. The acting, incredible. Cinematography, his direction, writing. Well, most of the writing. I like most of the dialogue. Johnny Greenwood's score, like so much of it. The attention to detail, the costuming, the production design, everything is just phenomenal. The actual story itself, I could give two shits about, and it's boring as fuck. And it's just super simplistic. And I just didn't care about it at all. But everything else is just amazing.
That's
So,
kind of how what I was afraid of with that movie.
yeah. Well, and it's like halfway through, not even halfway through. I mean, with his first date, Daniel Day Lewis and Vicky Creeps, on their first date, you kind of get this inkling of like what their relationship's gonna be, and throughout, I'm just sitting there like, okay, I know what this is. Like it's pretty obvious what this is, and then of course there's kind of like this kind of a twist or reveal at the end, and it's just like, yeah, we already knew that. Like it's bizarre because he telegraphs it beforehand, and I mean he just comes out and it's kind of sloppy in the way in which he does it, where he comes out and just kind of makes it known what's going on here, and it's just like, okay, that's what I figured it was. I mean, it was pretty obvious. Now you just out and out said it visually, uh, and then to still go through the reveal at the end, or like the twist reveal type deal at the end there. It's just like, yeah, you already made that quite clear. I don't know what you're really doing now. It's just really simple. It's just Reynolds Woodcock. is he's a baby. He's a little kid, and he misses his mom,
Hmm.
and he wants a mom. That's all it is. And then she becomes mom, and he's happy.
All right.
It's like, okay. And it's just like, okay, like everything's great, but it's also 130 minutes. Like, I don't know if that story needs to be 130 minutes long.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be.
All right. That's Phantom Thread. I I rewatched Night of the Living Dead. I got the Criterion Blu-ray of this.
Nice.
This is a fantastic Blu-ray set. Normally I don't even talk about rewatches when we do the watch list, but this one I just felt the need to talk about a little bit. Just because it's so good. The first disc, it's a 2-discer, so it's got 2 Blu-rays. And
Nice.
the first disc is the movie, which they did a 4K digital remaster, so it looks incredible, absolutely incredible. And then they included the 16 millimeter print of a work print version of the movie back when it was still called Night of Anubis, and the work print has a bunch of stuff. It's not complete. The audio is missing in some parts, but what they did was they sort of they spliced in audio from like the master, and so it feels complete. It doesn't look amazing, like the remaster, but it's still very watchable, and it contains it's edited slightly differently, and then also there's a few scenes in it that the distributor made them cut from the original one. So there's some added sort of gory stuff in there. So it's very interesting, especially if you're into Night of Living Dead. And then the second disc, which is just absolutely packed with bonus content. I mean, just there's like hours of bonus content, like documentaries, interviews, so much stuff on this. It's definitely the ultimate version of this film, which I'm very glad exists now, because Night of the Living Dead was in the public domain since it was released, and because of that, you have about 1 billion DVD and Blu-ray versions of this movie. So it's nice that somebody like the Criterion Collection got a hold of it and decided to put it out like a proper version of it.
Yeah.
Now this was being remastered while George Romero was still alive, so he was able to oversee the remaster as well.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's incredible. It's like one of the best Criterion releases I've seen in a while, so highly recommend picking it up.
I can't remember if I talked about His Girl Friday or not. From 1940, Howard Hawks.
I don't think so.
Okay, this has Cary Grant, Rosalind Russell. So this is sold as like one of the best comedies in the history of cinema. It's just supposed to be amazing, right? And I normally like Cary Grant. I normally do. I find him enjoyable. I like him. Cary Grant and His Girl Friday, I fucking hate him. I hate him so much. I hate his performance. And it at least gets better. Like in the very, very beginning, he plays this newspaper man. Rosalind Russell is his ex-wife, and she's coming by to be like, hey, I'm getting married, so leave me alone, I guess. I don't know. So he just starts making moves and kind of setting things up to get her to stay and work for the paper. He's like the best journalist he's ever had, whatever. Like in the beginning of the film, I just found him to be like extremely robotic. And you have this, it's 1940, and you have the newspaper talk where it's just the super snappy dialogue where there's just constantly, mile a minute, just rattling shit off. And he's doing it with this just like robotic, like there's nothing in his face or his body language. It's just, he's just reciting words, and it's just really awful. Now, he does get better later on in the film. He starts, loosening up a little bit, but again, it's one of those things where It's a shit ton of dialogue. It's super snappy. They just, and even worse yet, it's just, there's large chunks of this movie where there's like 6 or 7 people talking at the same time, just a mile a minute.
Hmm.
And it's just so fucking insufferable. I couldn't, I hated it. I hated it so much. I just couldn't stand it. It's just not, that's not my thing. I mean, on one hand, there is a part of me that's like, wow, this is really impressive that you guys are remembering all your lines and you're hitting everything, like the timing of the lines, and you have like 4 or 5 people speaking at the same time, and they're filling the silences and everything, and it's really impressive. But at the same time, it is not enjoyable in the least. At least for me, it's just not my cup of tea.
That's unfortunate. That's His Girl Friday. Yeah, never saw that one. Don't think I'm going to now. That's all I have. I've been reviewing a lot of movies that we're going to be featuring on.
Can't talk about.
Yeah, on Film Pulse Selects that we have coming out. So I've been watching a lot of shorts and stuff, getting prepared to launch that. So stay tuned. You're going to see a lot of short films and things popping up on the site as we prepare to launch Film Pulse Selects. I'm looking probably beginning of March. I did rewatch The Florida Project though. We'll have
I rewatched Psychopaths I think that was last night or the night before.
What was it? 7 Psychopaths?
7 Psychopaths, that's on Amazon Prime right now.
Nice.
So I was like, yeah, I remember that movie, just fucking loving it and just thinking it was the funniest thing ever. It didn't hold up.
Didn't hold up on a rewatch?
I mean, Sam Rockwell's great in it, and Christopher Walken is, he's enjoyable, but it didn't quite hold up.
Well, I can tell you Florida Project definitely holds up, and
I still haven't seen it. You've seen it twice now. I still haven't seen it.
Yeah, well, it's going to be out on Tuesday, so
nice.
You can
finally
get it on digital or whatever, Blu-ray.
Pick that shit up.
The Blu-ray is okay. It's not great. It has a making of featurette, which is decent, but
I also saw the trip to Spain.
Yeah.
On that, I guess apparently they made that a trilogy for some reason. I thought, whatever.
Did you wait a minute? Did you see the other two?
I saw the other two.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, did you?
Well, I didn't really have an interest in seeing this third one.
I didn't either.
One of those. It's one of those things though that you're like, Netflix Instant. I want something sort of light that I don't really have to pay attention to. I'll just throw it on. And guess what? They do Michael Caine impressions.
Yeah. So the thing is,
again.
Yeah, I feel like the trip movies have like an acquired taste to them, and I feel like there's a very specific audience for them, and it's just not for everyone. Like those movies are just definitely not for everyone.
And the funny thing is I loved the first one, and I overall enjoyed the second one. It's just I think the third one is just like them doing Michael Caine impressions again for like 10 minutes straight, and I'm like, I get it. You guys do Michael Caine impressions. Like, holy shit. There's no reason for this. And the funny thing is my wife, I guess, I don't know if it's the second one or the first one, my review on Letterboxd is like, I could watch these shits all the time. They're so great. I could watch every, iteration of the trip. Just keep making them. But it turns out that I was wrong. I'm done at 2. I can watch 2 of them, and then I'm done.
I enjoyed the trip to Spain. It's just more of the same. Like I didn't.
Yeah.
There were certain things like in the trip to Italy. There were certain bits and things that I thought were way funnier, like the Alanis Morissette thing. How they only had one CD to listen to the whole time, and it was the Alanis Morissette, and they just little things like that I thought were much funnier in the second
to me,
one.
Spain didn't really have too much of that. I think for whatever reason they try to go a more serious route,
Yeah.
which don't do that. And then there was that whole bit of Bryden doing the Roger Moore impression forever,
Mm-hmm.
and it just wouldn't shut up, and that was awful. I hated it.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll get any more of these.
I hope not.
I feel like we're just.
Or if we do, I really hope that I don't watch them.
Although he did the tiny man in a box, which he always has to do that, and every time it makes me laugh. I don't know why I find that bit to be so funny, but I really enjoy it. All right, anything else on your list?
Nah, that's it.
All right. Let's move on, talk about some new releases coming out in theaters this week. Got one that I'm pretty excited for, and I think you're pretty excited for it too, and that's Annihilation.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, Annihilation. Coming out is the new Alex Garland, based on the very popular book series with Natalie Portman. I really hope this is good. I'm really hoping for the best for this one, but we'll see. I'm still gonna see it.
Oh, yeah.
If anything, it'll be at least it should have pretty strong visuals in it. We also have Game Night coming out. Game Night. Man, what happened to comedy? Like, what happened?
I don't know.
What was it? Is it a select number of people that ruined comedy, or is it just an overall thing where comedy is dying? I don't know.
I don't know. But even worse is like this is going to be like maybe one of like 3 or 4 that we'll get out of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, at least you used to have this overabundance of comedies.
Yeah, that's
you at least had 50% of them didn't hit. Another 25% did hit. The other 25 were like, but you at least had shots.
Yeah, I feel like you only get a handful of comedies every year now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Either way, this one looks not good at all. I have no interest. This is by the guys who did Horrible Bosses.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be good.
This is one that I'll probably give a.
I'll still watch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go to the theater to see it, but I'll watch it when it comes out on streaming.
Friday night. I'm gonna rent this shit on a Friday night. Get myself some pizza or subs.
Yeah.
And just fucking get myself a sixer.
I mean, just judging by the cast alone, it should be worth some laughs. Jason
chuckle here and there.
Yeah, Jason Bateman, he's always worth a few laughs. So we'll see about that one. And we also have Every Day, which is a.
Please tell me it's Nicholas Sparks.
No, it's not. It looks like a Nicholas Sparks. It's not.
I know, but and I was like, man, they even have sparklers.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's not. It is based on a book, but it's written by David Levithan.
Okay.
It's about a girl who falls in love with this guy who inhabits a different body every day. So every day he wakes up and he's in a different body. And that's what it is. And there we go.
Okay. All right.
Also coming out is another one that I'm really excited for, and that's Mute. This is the Duncan Jones one. This is going to be on Netflix. So everybody that has Netflix is going to be able to see this one. It's the one with Alexander Skarsgård and Paul Rudd.
Nice.
Futuristic, cyberpunk type world.
I'm looking forward to next weekend between Annihilation and Mute.
We're gonna have a major sci-fi weekend next weekend. I'm excited.
Oh my god, we're gonna do so much sci-fi.
We're gonna overload. It's gonna be sci-fi overload.
Triple it up. Annihilation, Mute, and every.
Yeah. Triple threat.
Or maybe we'll throw.
And then we have the young Karl Marx. We got Death House. We got The Cured. The Lodgers. These are all like horror movies. Curvature. You have like five comedies that come out every year, and then you have like 2,500 horror movies. Which, I mean, I'm glad for, but I'd like to equal it out a little bit. Are We Not Cats? This is it's a very bizarre sort of horror movie, body horror movie about people that have that illness where they eat their own hair.
Nope, not doing it.
Not into.
I can't. I cannot watch that. I'm sorry.
Not into.
It sounds interesting, and I've actually heard good things about this movie. But as soon as I heard that is the premise, it's like, no, I'm never watching that.
Yeah,
in my life.
We will have a review for this up by the time you're listening to this. The embargo just lifted today. Chris reviewed it for us. I think he gave it a 7.5. He liked it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's great, but never watching it.
I might give it a look, just out of curiosity. It looks pretty gross, but we'll see. We got Hannah.
How can it not be gross?
No, I'm sure it is going to be very gross. Let's see. Half Magic coming out. That is the directorial debut of Heather Graham. Written and directed by Heather Graham. Remember Heather Graham?
Yeah. Heather Graham, Angela Kingsley, and Stephanie Beatrice in there.
Yeah, it looks tremendously bad.
Half Magic.
Sorry to say, it looks very bad.
It does not look good.
We got The Chamber. This is like a containment thriller in a submarine. People trapped in a submarine.
That's not good. What?
Yeah, it might be worth a look. The one guy from Force Majeure is in it. Might be interested. We have November.
Yeah.
This is a very odd looking black and white sort of dark fairy tale movie. Looks very bizarre. It's
like it's Estonian too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't get a lot of cinematic offerings from Estonia.
No, this one looks really weird. It looks right up your alley, actually. Looks kind of gross and just strange.
They don't eat hair, do they?
I don't think so.
I swear to God. If I see anyone put hair anywhere close to their mouth, fucking out. I'm turning it off.
Huh. Didn't know you had such a hair-eating phobia.
It's so... No, I can't watch that.
I mean, I agree it's unpleasant.
It makes me vomit. Or I would imagine it would. Just kind of thinking about it makes me gag a little bit.
Yeah, it is pretty gross. Operation Red Sea. Like some kind of... maybe a war movie? I'm not sure. Welcome to New York. I have no idea what that is. Survivor's Guide to Prison. This is a documentary about the prison system. Features a lot of sort of interesting people. This is written and directed by Matthew Cook. He's the one who did How to Make Money. What is it? How to Make Money Selling Drugs, or the drug documentary.
Yeah. I remember you talking about that one.
Which was excellent. How to Make Money Selling Drugs. Excellent documentary. This one's about the American prison system. Features a lot of like some people that you might expect, like Danny Trejo, Ice-T, but then you have like Riz is in there, Russell Simmons, Q-Tip, Busta Rhymes, and then you have Danny Glover, Patricia Arquette, Susan Sarandon, Cynthia Nixon.
Okay.
Some people I'm just, some of these people make sense. Then you have like Macklemore, Chuck D, Warren G, Be Real, Tom Morello. I don't know. I might, if I have time, I'll give it a look just because I like this guy's movies, and I don't expect to learn anything new. I've seen a lot of prison docs and things, and I know how fucked up our prison system is.
Yeah.
But it might be interesting to hear celebrities talk about it.
What are their thoughts on the prison system?
Like a lot of these guys, like some of them, I like Danny Trejo. I could see, this is a guy who was in the system, but Cynthia Nixon, what's she bringing to the table?
Yeah, what's
Is there something I don't know about with her? Did she do time? I don't know. Kind of want to find out.
Maybe that'd be interesting. That's what you ended up finding out. All those people at the time.
I know a lot of them did, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's see what we have on VOD this week. Today, as of this recording, we're recording this on Monday. Got Traffic Stop that's coming out on HBO. That's a documentary. Then on Tuesday, the 20th, we have Interchange, which looks like a very strange Malaysian sort of horror movie. Maybe it's a horror movie. I'm not even sure how to classify that. It looks very kind of dark and surreal and kind of interesting. We have The Giant Killer. I think that's a documentary. Yeah,
The Giant Killer.
Yeah, Miami police officer David Uzuk befriends a tiny homeless man after 15 years of friendship. The man finally reveals who he really is. Basically, this cop made a movie about a homeless man he became friends with.
Okay.
I'll be skipping that. Days of Power. Maybe a music doc? No. What is this? Days of Power, through a creative allegory of indie musicians, illustrates the parallels in their lives in the cruel and perilous world of puppy mills. The film follows a Swiss singer-songwriter on tour until a quick stop finds MTG and members of her band fighting for their lives. I have no idea. That one sounds all over the place. Also on the 20th, we have... Yeah, it sounds whack. We have Doomsday Device. Neat, the story of bourbon. It's a bourbon documentary. A bourbon doc.
Thank God. Finally got that bourbon.
Oh, you're a bourbon guy. Thought you'd be interested in it. Then on the 23rd, Friday, we have Half Magic. Got 7 Guardians of the Tomb. This is like a U.S. Chinese co-production. No, I'm sorry. It's Chinese Australian. Doesn't look great. Sort of a Tomb Raider style adventure movie. We got The Chamber. We got The Cured. And we got Beast of Burden. This one with Daniel Radcliffe. Plays some kind of drug smuggler.
All right.
And looks like that's about it. Blu-ray this week. We got, as I mentioned, The Florida Project. I would definitely recommend picking that up. I'll have a review by the time you hear this up on the site. Gate 2, Return to the Nightmare. I didn't even know that there was a Gate 2. This is... What?
Gate 2.
Huh. Scream Factory's putting that out. Now, Gate 1 was put out... They did a Vestron release of Gate 1. And I guess Scream Factory's putting out Gate 2. And let's see. Daddy's Home 2. Let's probably skip that. Got Mom and Dad. That's one I would recommend. That's the one with Nicolas Cage and Selma Blair. For a mysterious...
yes. Definitely watch that. Yes.
A mysterious thing happens that makes all parents want to murder their children, and it is batshit and tons of fun, that movie.
They just let Nicolas Cage go, and it's wonderful.
Oh, you saw it?
I did, yeah.
Oh, we didn't talk about it.
No. I just remembered now that you just said it. I think that was over like our long break.
Yeah, it came out. It came out the first night of Sundance because I watched it in my hotel room, and
There you go. That's what happened.
yeah, it's really fun.
Oh my god, it's just ridiculous.
him busting
It's
up,
so
him
ridiculous.
busting up that pool table.
Him busting up the pool table. At one point, he chases his son around, barking like a dog.
The Sawzall. It saws all. Oh my god. Yes. Mom and Dad, check that out.
It's ridiculous.
Let's see what else we have here. That Days of Power movie is coming out on Blu-ray as well. A movie called Downhill. That's really all I'm seeing here that looks noteworthy. That Star movie is coming out. The Star, that Bible movie.
Ooh.
And 1977 Scalpel is being released on Arrow.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in that. What do we got on Criterion this week?
We got 2 coming out. We got An Actor's Revenge from 1963, Kanichikawa's. This is it's a intricate tale of betrayal and retribution. That's what they're saying here on the Criterion website. That'll also be coming out on iTunes as well. And then you also have The Hero from 1966, which is apparently a psychologically rich character study. So,
all right.
Yeah. That'll also be on iTunes, The Hero.
I don't understand why they do that. Like, it just makes everything so complicated. Like, if Criterion is using Filmstruck now, just use Filmstruck. Like, why do I have to search a million places?
I got 2 things to say about Filmstruck, because I got Filmstruck this year. And number 1, it's great. I love it. A lot of offerings on there between Filmstruck and the Criterion channel. Totally worth it. But 2 things. The website itself is a fucking nightmare. It takes forever to load. It's a nightmare to navigate. It's just, it's awful. It's best if you know what you want to see and you just search it. There you go. But like just trying to navigate and trying to like discover things on your own, it's awful. 2, I mean, your Filmstruck is the Criterion Collection. Like, why can I not watch you on something else besides my computer? Like PlayStation 4, give me an app. Like, make an app up. What are you doing?
That's crazy that they do not
Get
have
that shit.
An app.
I don't know how. How do they not?
Yeah, that's completely wild. I don't understand that.
And the weird thing is they don't have an app, but yet their website is set up essentially like an app.
Yeah, that's the worst.
You know what I mean? Where it's like the thumbnails and like side scrolling, and it's just like it's one title at a time. You got to click that little arrow, you get one fucking title, and you're just like, and of course it takes you 5 minutes to get that one title to show up. Oh god!
It just sounds like it's mobile optimized. It sounds like it's meant that they designed the website to be like viewable on a tablet or something, rather than just making their own app, which would make it a lot easier and better. Did you see the Movie Pass deal that they're doing? $7.95 a month for Fandor and Movie Pass.
Which I kind of want to do, but at the same time, because a lot of what I hear from people is like the customer service is terrible, the app doesn't work.
I had it.
I think I don't know.
I don't currently have it. I had it early on. Back when it first started out, it was like $40 a month. And I had it then, and I didn't really have much trouble with it. Sometimes I would have issues, but for the most part, didn't give me too much trouble. I think they probably worked out a lot of the kinks. The problem is, when something does happen, you're missing your movie. Because the way that it works is you get to the theater and then you basically check into the theater, and then it activates and you can use the card to purchase the tickets. But if something goes wrong and like it doesn't go through, then you have to contact customer service and you're going to miss the movie basically.
Mm-hmm.
But in my experience with it early on, I didn't really have.
But that was also, they had I would imagine their customer base was much smaller.
Right. Yeah. This was like,
and it seems like early. Now they're fucking going nuts trying to get as many people as possible. And they're just like, we're just getting as many customers as possible. If some of them don't like our service because their customer service is awful, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. And back then you had to sign up. You had to like do basically a contract with them back in the early days. You had to like sign up for like a year or something. And they changed a lot since then. And the price is so low now. Like, I don't even understand. They can't make, they're losing money. They can't make money off of it because you're paying $8 a month. How much does Fandor cost on its own? $8. I mean, it's probably like $8 or $10, more. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is close to like $8 or $9.
So right there, they're already losing money off of this because the Fandor subscription alone is like $8 or $9. And then unlimited movie tickets, these are like standard movies too, like not IMAX or 3D, but still, like in New York, movie tickets are like, if you want to go to a standard movie, they're like $15. So,
yeah. And what, you get to see one a day?
Yeah, you can see one a day.
So if you got some of them cinephiles in New York,
yeah, now
going to a movie every other day.
Yeah, and I mean, there's obviously some caveats. You can't, like, not all theaters take it. Only certain theaters. Now, back when I did it, any theater that took Discover, like the Discover card, you could do it. Because at the time, I don't know if it's changed, but at the time it was like a deal through Discover. So basically the card that they give you, it turns into a Discover card.
Oh, okay.
And they activate it and then they deactivate it after you get the movie ticket. So any movie theater that would take Discover, you could use with Movie Pass. But again, I don't know. It's been several years since I've had it, so I don't know if it's changed. But I'm thinking about signing up.
You definitely should. Being in New York.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
I mean, the Fandor subscription alone almost makes it.
I know. Because I got rid of Fandor to get Filmstruck, and now I'm thinking, well, shit, I can get Movie Pass and Fandor back.
That'll probably make you go to the theater more, I would imagine.
I know, which is inadvertently would leave me no time with Fandor.
Yeah, it's like an either-or thing. Like, too many options.
Well, that's why I got rid of Fandor because I knew as soon as I got Filmstruck, I'm like, I'm not going to have time to watch something from both of these. Like, yeah, it's just going to be pointless.
I got rid of Verve. I still have my Shudder subscription, and I got rid of Verve, and then I got DirecTV Now. So I have like live TV now, which man, that cut back on my productivity. Because now I can like channel surf again, and it's just like, ugh. But DirecTV Now is pretty. I'm enjoying it so far. I've only had it for like a week, but they have like a pretty decent number of on-demand titles. They don't have DVR yet, but they will be getting it soon. It's like in beta now, and it's pretty good so far. Brian actually got DirecTV Now as well.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, I think that's going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @FilmPulseNet and @FilmPulseKevin. If you have a minute, take a look at our Patreon page, patreon.com/FilmPulse. Consider helping us out by becoming a subscriber. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.
Congressional miscarriages, emancipation proclamation's a joke. Segregation still on the low. Rebels are bombing everything, everywhere. Some little girls lost teddy bear. Candles burn, that's how we learn. Memorials, Cuban salute, Che. I'm from the project hallway. Recite my oratorios all day. It's suicide, we not